Greetings, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna do Haunted, which, well, kinda sucks, but, you know, it's gonna be good to finish it. I'm gonna bring Brickell with us today, of course. Not really of course, but kind of. I mean, this map has a pit of water in the middle. And when you see the way the map is designed, you can see there are balloons coming from both sides here at the same time. It's kind of the obvious thing to go for a water tower. And I think we're gonna go for Axis of Mermonkey today, because that's always great fun. So, and don't forget about the Dart Monkey. Always do that. Yeah, I realized that I leaked there. Of course, I think it's because I placed it down too late. So around here is good, I guess. Strong. Guess I'm gonna have you on strong. So yeah, Haunted is one of those maps. I really hate this map. I think it is objectively one of the worst ones in the game. It is not interesting. It has the concept of difficulty that I dislike. The fact that the balloons intercept with each other makes it hard to see whether or not you're leaking. So that's a bit annoying. And one thing that I kind of dislike about the map, and well, the design, like the way it looks, it has a Halloween theme. We already have quite a few of those in the game. It is just another Halloween map, but yeah, I just am not the biggest of fans here. But it's okay. It is what it is, you know. It's not the end of the world, but that's just the way I feel about it. Perhaps you feel differently. You may, or you may not, but I, at least, do not particularly like this map. So, we're gonna use Brickell, as I said. Obviously, since we have 3 Mermonkeys, Brickell is the obvious choice for the hero, as well as water. So, yeah, Brickell is the obvious hero for everything. And also, she is a good option too, so. I'm gonna save up for her here. We need 1,000 roughly, which I really hope I have enough space at the top. Otherwise, I may have blundered a little bit with the placements, but I don't think I have. Okay, I can fit her here. Okay, good. And I think that fits every single Mermonkey too, so that's according to plan for sure. So we're gonna be working on Axis of Mermonkey. So yeah. It's gonna be pretty powerful stuff. First of all, though, I'll grab some extra range. I think I will be grabbing range to everyone in the beginning. But at least this one. Okay, you grab some range to you too. Get these 2 guys, and I'll start with the middle path. Believe it or not, the reason for that is lead. So. We don't want to. We want to make sure we have enough lead damage. Ooh. Yeah, you see, this is annoying. I honestly can't tell if I was leaking or not there, or if I was close or not, or if I'm gonna pop the balloons in time. It's all just very confusing. I see I'm barely popping the balloons, but yeah, it's just it really sucks about this map. It is just the thing that I dislike about it. Naturally, I can use the ability, but would probably like I kind of want to avoid doing that if I can, but yeah, especially since I have fast forward on, I can't tell at all if I'm leaking or not, and that just makes this an abysmal experience. Or abysmal is a bit of a strong word. I mean, the game is always going to feel fairly similar regardless, but you know, it is certainly quite, it's not as enjoyable as other maps at least. So let's get to Riptide Champion there. And I think we're gonna start working towards the top half this time around. One thing to remember about Mermonkeys is that the only path that has lead is the middle path, the Riptide Champion. That's why I get that. So DDTs is something to watch out for later on, actually. And I am a little bit surprised about the fact that Lord of the Abyss does not have lead. It is actually just really surprising. I'll get extra range on this one too, by the way. So we get like the 3 times the buff. Could even buff it even further by adding another. We even have space for it. We do right here. A little bit tight. We could place down an ice tower though, but I see no need to do that. I'm just gonna be using chances of Mermonkey for this one. Kind of still want to go for the niche strats, you know. While we still have the chance, it's not gonna be the case for too much longer. And I find myself having to be a little bit more meta-focused. Like, in the next ones that we have coming up, firing range being one of them, I kind of need to be a little bit more meta-focused there. Focus on stuff that's a bit more simplistic, you could call it that. So yeah, when I make these videos, I do plan ahead quite a lot. Like, I make sure that I like to be ahead of schedule, so I have already, like, mapped out my strategy for firing range, which is a few maps from now on. While I'm recording this, I have also mapped out downstream, which is the next map, but yeah, I like to be ahead, you know, and plan things out in my head before I actually make the video. But yeah, this is highly simplistic. Like, the only thing that is a little bit difficult is the early game there. You could see that I messed up in the beginning, and suddenly I'm dying, right? It happens easily, or it's easy to mess up in the beginning. Just make sure to perhaps, I guess this placement here is good, but if you place the Mermonkey incorrectly, you could actually lose on round 7 or 8 before you get the second Mermonkey. Just because it's not gonna hit the one of the balloons or something. It's very stupid, but it can happen. It is just the way it is, really, with this map. That you can easily leak, unfortunately. But that's just the way it is. With some maps, and this is one of those. If that happens, well, just restart, or even worst case scenario, you could probably upgrade like the dart a tiny bit. You really had to, but yeah, I would restart. It's just, it is like, one of the things that I like, at least, is that if it's hard in the beginning, then it takes no time to reset. Like, it's not a problem. If you lose on round 8, then you can reset, and it's not a big deal. It's way worse when it's hard on round 98, right? Because then you have to play the whole thing over again. So, yeah, I don't think it is hard, but just be aware of the placements. Maybe is somewhat important. So yeah, just throwing that out there as we wait until we have 24k to get the Lord of the Abyss. There really isn't too much else to say, because we're gonna be getting the Arctic Knight, and then afterwards we get the Poseidon, and the Poseidon is just so strong that it is going to destroy everything, including round 100, because the ability is very good, as well as the Brickell's abilities as well. So the Mermonkeys just end up becoming very strong. So with the Lord of the Abyss, we have made sure that we will never leak any Bloons. Because it's a destroyer for Bloons specifically, like round 63, 76, 78. So the Lord of the Abyss is very good for that. And this one, the Alluring Melody, and the bottom path is going to be very strong for Moabs. So Moabs are not going to be leaking there. But of course, before we get the bottom path, I think it's better to simply get the Poseidon first, because you want to make sure you have the Poseidon early instead of having to rely on Lord of the Abyss because of the damage. This is a very good stalling tower though, but it is it can be a little bit rough when you don't have damage output. So we would rather make sure we have the Poseidon first, because the Poseidon is going to destroy DDTs. As I said, the DDTs could actually be somewhat of an issue because of our lead problems, but you know, I'm gonna make sure it doesn't lead to that. So we get the Poseidon first. It's a hell of a lot of money to save up for, but it's not an issue, because Lord of the Abyss is gonna carry us for a long time, and nothing is too scary regarding Bloons until the early 90s or 80s, I guess you could say. But then we will have enough, so not a problem. And the Arctic Knight ability is decent enough to do quite a bit of damage as well when you combine everything with Brickell's abilities. Like these bombs are just very strong. So like if I use this ability here, it just destroys everything. And yeah, it becomes a fairly easy black border actually. Like, you would expect this map to be kind of tough. Because the way it is designed is a little bit tough, but you do have more time than you would think because of the way the balloons move. And again, placing stuff in the middle is what's gonna be the most beneficial, because the balloons, they can move upwards and spend quite a bit of time in this lane. So, you have a lot of time to hit the balloons that way, instead of having to focus on everything around here. Like on Quiet Street, you need to place the towers in one area, because you don't have that much time to pop them. That, like, unlike in this map. But yeah, Quiet Street's quite similar in that regard, but I like Quiet Street more in a way. I guess it's the atmosphere is more pleasant, and the atmosphere isn't that pleasant here, you know. The whole thing is haunted. It's a haunted house. Not at all my favorite map. That much is clear. But anyway, one map needs to be one of the worst ones, and this is one of them. Like, if you are gonna be ranking them. And I certainly have the worst 3 or worst 5. That would be Pat's Pond, X Factor, and this one. I think those are some strong candidates for terrible maps. There's some others I don't enjoy either, like Covered Garden. And then there's that snow map that freezes your towers. For some reason, I can't remember it now, but it is an expert map. One of the more recent ones that I haven't blackboarded at all. Of course, we have maps like, I don't know, I never liked Toolbox very much, but I suppose it's not a bad map or anything. Just annoying. I don't know. That's gonna be fun when we get to that stage of balloon popping, but that's gonna be quite the while from now. My plan is pretty much to be I'm gonna be starting with the advanced maps once the next update's out, so that could take a month around there. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's crazy because now that I've done firing range, or I have that mapped in my head, I have literally only 5 intermediate maps left, and 3 of them are extremely easy, and the last 2 are a little bit tougher. Chutes and Rake, like the OGs in intermediate maps, so it's kind of crazy how far I've gotten with this. I never expected me to be so persistent. I thought I would lose interest early on, but surprisingly enough, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. I'm finding myself saying this in every map, though, in every video at this point, but I'm actually really enjoying these videos, and I'm not planning to stop yet, so we'll see how long it continues, though. It's just a hobby after all. You know, just something to do to relax after work. You know, work takes time, and we'd like to do some other things sometimes. And yeah, this is what I do when I've got nothing better to do. So here we are. We got 37k, so it's still gonna take a few more rounds. I think we have this by the end of round 84, maybe 83, maybe even 82. I totally forget. Like, you get a crap load of money between 78 or 75 and 85. It's a whole lot of money, and we're missing only 15k at the moment, or 16. So yeah, 79 gives us a lot. 81 and 82 too. I guess we're gonna get it soon. And once you get that, it's gonna be OG. It's gonna be completely GG's. And you notice I haven't even included the village or anything like that, so I could buff it even further. I could add like an alchemist or whatever, but there's no need to do that just yet. I'll probably add it right here. Add bomb. There you go. So got the COMG. One thing you can do is that you can use the ability and then use this one, which means that you attack even further with the ability. That's kind of powerful, especially with the Poseidon ability, which is a much stronger version. So yeah, pretty OP stuff. We got 51k, 52. So we're gonna have enough after round pretty much right now, so that's neat. My math calculations off right now, but I just underestimated us instead of overestimating, which is a good thing. But now that we have this, it's gonna be impossible to lose. Just gonna get the... I don't want to cover the dart. I guess I can place it here. There we go, faster. Gonna get the stronger simulant as well, and then we're gonna get the bottom half as well. So I'll get the top half. And then we're gonna get the luring melody and all of that stuff, so which is gonna be 40k or something in total. All of the upgrades combined, so it's like around 10k for those, and then there's like 30k for the final upgrade, I think. Maybe a bit less. But as you can see, it's been a... This ability here is OP, is crazy. Okay, that's really OP. That is a bit... Like, that implies that the tower is like completely imbalanced, but... Like, it is a $55,000 tower, so it has to be decent. And it was kind of ass in the beginning, I remember, when it was released. But, like, I wasn't the biggest Mermonkey guy, actually, but now it's become one of my favorite towers because I can place it in water. Like, very, very nice to use. Very strong for late game. I mean, there's some more, like, the other water synergy you usually do is that you go for the destroyer and then the carrier flagship, and then with carrier flagship which buffs ace, then you use the ace. That's like the classic, like Sky Shredder, and carrier flagship is a strong combination. But I'm kind of rambling right now, it's just that I have nothing to talk about. Like, there's nothing to mention here. We're destroying every single round. Lays down some bombs, I guess. But yeah, especially this. This one is gonna collect the Moabs pretty much. But here's the ability synergies I mentioned. This destroys everything. But yeah, the only threat is DDTs, but luckily this Mermonkey here can get the DDTs too. So we're gonna get the final harmonic. This is good too because it gives us less, or it makes like Brickell's abilities. The cooldown lasts has a shorter cooldown. So, but it's not that OP, but it is still decent. So now we get this too. There's just no way we're gonna lose. So very nice little strategy. And remember, you can always use the ability for the DDTs, and then you destroy the DDTs just like that. And this tower here needs Alchemist in order to pop the DDT. So you can see that it suddenly took the DDTs in. That's because it got buffed by the Alchemist all of a sudden. But we got Brickell as well for DDTs. So DDTs are not an issue. But it's best to use the ability though for 99 just to make sure. They might as well get that. So Brickell gets to level 17. That's respectable, I guess. And there we go. And yeah, this one is very good for the stalling or whatever. Makes it even easier. Let's just use some abilities. Why not? And everything is gonna get destroyed. This is round 98. Barely noticed that it was a thing, and then we use this ability here for 99. And we're done. Now it's around 100. And I think we're fine. Just attack. And I think this is good enough to take it down, as well as the fuse. And once it pops, you use the ability. There we go. That was honestly a bit close, but it's fine. So that was it. So not too crazily difficult. I made the mistake of placing the fuse at the bottom though. Should have placed it so it would have popped the bat immediately, but doesn't matter. But yeah, fairly simplistic strategy. Only 26k pops for this tower. This is more of a staller kind of a thing. It doesn't really pop too much, just like the Super Cool in a way. But the Lord of the Abyss and of course the Pop Sidon does most of the work.
Yo-ho!
And yeah, that's haunted for you. So the trickiest part is the start. So make sure to try to place them somewhat around here, like this thing in the water. I don't know what the hell that is, but anyway, that's haunted. So hope you guys enjoy that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So see you then. Bye bye.